Hi guys, welcome to Crazy Burger. So amazingly, it's Game of the Month time on Evercade, VS and EXP. You can download this right now on these devices and play it through the entire month of May or until you update your firmware. So what we're going to do in this video, have a look at the game, the details and have a quick play at it. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay guys, so let's get stuck into the game of the month for May, and you can obviously play this game as long as you keep it on your Evercade or until you update the firmware, and eventually you will get this on Indie Heroes Collection 4 that will be released around about February 2025. So this is Block'em Sock'em from Second Dimension and John Hancock. Obviously John Hancock is a YouTuber, and obviously they've done collaboration with Second Dimension, who made the games Ira the Crow Maiden, Beer Slinger, and obviously last month's Game of the Month as well, which I didn't really play that much. I wasn't really that keen on it, so hopefully this game's a little bit better. This is a puzzle game, so obviously you don't like puzzle games, you might not like it too much. As I said, obviously John Hancock is a YouTuber. Some of you might watch him, some of you might not. Obviously now we have games from John Riggs and John Hancock. Just to sort of put this out there, it won't be me for next month making the Game of the Month. That's just something I'm never going to do. Anyway, let's move on. So Block'em Sock'em is a puzzle game. I'm pretty sure this is the Mega Drive version. I think it was released in 2022. Probably a couple different versions on like the SNES. Pretty sure we are getting the Mega Drive Genesis version, and the idea is to try and match up the coloured blocks. So you're obviously the character John Hancock at the bottom, and you've got a block. You need to chuck it up, match the colours, and so forth. But I'll explain it more when we're actually playing the game. I believe there's about 25 levels. It's actually not too bad. I've had a quick go before the video, starting this video, and it's not actually too bad at all. I think I probably enjoy it a lot more than last month's game, and I probably enjoy it a lot more than, hate to say it, but I enjoy it a lot more than John Riggs' game. I think this is much better. And when I mean John Riggs' game, I mean the crazy game, I can't even remember the name of it. I'm not meaning the collaboration with low-tech games. I'm not talking about Choo Choo Mimic. That game was pretty decent. So this is obviously the physical version that can be played on an original Genesis, or this unusually looking knockoff thing that is here, Genesis 3, not sure what that is. But anyway, this is the game. There's not many other changes to the firmware this month. There's no secret games been added, and there's been a few other changes. So I'll have a quick look at the patch notes, but there's not really an awful lot to talk about. Okay, so this is the patch notes. Obviously, previous Game of the Month has been removed, and we now have a few things added to the screen. Obviously, we've got the new Game of the Month. We've got the Tomb Raider Collection 1 and Thalamus Collection 1 added to the library feature, and a couple other small changes. The cartridge spine viewing preference now saves in library when exiting. Fixed controller test function. Fixed library scrolling speed consistency, and fixed console credits. That's it. There's no other changes. So if you're waiting on some kind of change for a game, there's nothing happening this month. Personally, I'm not bothered. As long as there's no massive game breaking things going on, then I'm pretty fine with no updates. I'd rather they tested the heck out of all these updates before they unleashed them to the public, and then obviously things go wrong and all sorts of things. You lose save states, all that kind of crazy stuff. But anyway guys, let's get stuck into this Game of the Month. It's Block'em Sock'em. Okay guys, so pretty straightforward. There's not really a lot to say here. It's probably best getting stuck into the game, and I'll explain the actual game as we go. Some simple controls. You've got X to basically throw the block upwards, and B press at the same time as start to actually reset, and you'll probably have to reset the game if you do get stuck throughout the game. So this is obviously a collaboration between the immortal John Hancock and Second Dimension. I'm pretty sure Second Dimension probably done most of the work, and John Hancock probably came up with the idea maybe within with a few more sort of things and stuff. But anyway, I'm pretty sure Second Dimension done most of the stuff. So there's a simple explanation of what to actually do. But I think sometimes it's actually best getting the game going and then figuring it out. So you start off with a star block, which basically means you can touch any other block, and then it will change colour depending on what last block it actually touched. and then that'll obviously change the block as well. So if you're throwing the purple upwards and then it hits the red block, it will change that one to the purple and so forth. So the idea, you can see in the top right hand corner of the screen, you've got a goal. You need to get at least a minimum of 4 left before you can move on to the next stage. And then the next box down, you see left, you've got now 7 boxes, and then the one below that, you've got how many tosses you have left. Yes please, no sniggering in the back. So you obviously have a minimum amount of tosses per level. Yes, please stop sniggering. Maybe it's just me, I don't know. Anyway, so the game itself is actually pretty good fun. I did enjoy it. Again, just to say, if you don't like your puzzle games, you'll probably not enjoy this. But obviously a little word of warning, I did experience a few bugs here and there, which meant I really had to restart the level. So maybe it was just me, maybe it wasn't bugs, but anyway, I'll explain more when we actually come across those bugs throughout the game. But obviously the idea is to try and clear as many blocks from the screen and reach that goal and then move on to the next level. You don't actually need to clear all the blocks on the level. As long as you get to that goal, you can then move on. It certainly gets a little bit tricky, and sometimes I'm not really sure it makes entire sense, but for what's there, I actually really enjoy it. But anyway, I'll jump in later in the video and I'll explain some of the bugs that I experienced whilst playing the game. So one thing I'm not sure if it's a bug or not, but when you have the star block, sometimes when you're chucking that up, it won't get rid of the blocks. Now I'm not sure if it's just single blocks it won't get rid of and it has to be 2 or more. That's not entirely clear, so it might not necessarily be a bug, but there are some silly bugs throughout the game. Sometimes I don't think it makes a lot of sense. Like I said, there's something, why would the star block not get rid of single blocks? That makes no sense. That basically stops the level. You have to reset the game completely. But there are other things that have been going on. This level definitely highlighted it for me when I sort of got down to the sort of nitty-gritty here and chucked the sort of block up to the red one. It basically just kept going across the screen, and then it just made no sense. So basically I had to reset the game. Why would it keep going across the screen? Because one of the boxes on the left hand side is pointing the other way, so why would it not bounce back? Obviously it would still bounce back and forth. Maybe it's not a bug, maybe that's just how it is, but it doesn't seem entirely right. Then restarting the game, I experienced a couple of rather odd things with the block chucking up. It just went to the side like that. Really odd, but eventually it did seem to reset itself, but as you can see there, that's obviously not right at all. So there's something going on here that's maybe needing a little bit of a fix, I think. Maybe not everyone will actually experience that. I've maybe sort of unlocked something that wasn't really meant to happen. But anyway, I experienced that bug. Very weird. But obviously restarting the level, it fixed itself and I just moved on. But there's definitely some little things like that are in the game that are a little bit buggy. So it's not quite perfect. guys, so that's the game of the month for May 2024, the second game as part of Indie Heroes Collection 4 that will be out next year. I think it's actually pretty good. I quite enjoyed playing it. I do like my puzzle games. I'm not entirely sure it makes a lot of sense right enough. I think there's a few bugs here and there, but I still enjoyed it. It was still pretty decent, and I would certainly recommend updating your VS and EXP if you want to play it now. Thanks very much for watching. We'll catch you again in the next one. Bye for now.